Much later, organizers of Free the Citizens protest say all is set for the upcoming 3-day demonstration to demand immediate action against illegal mining. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. The government has up to 8 days to accede to the demands of Labour in announcing a state of emergency and banning completely all small-scale mining activities in the country to avoid a full-blown industrial action. Labour has set October 10 to begin the industrial action in what many environment experts see as the biggest possible push to have the government take action against the ongoing devastation of the country's land, forest cover and river bodies. There have, however, been concerns over the date set for the strike to begin. We'll hear from the leadership of organised Labour very shortly. But first, let me walk you through the demands they are making. And first of all, they are asking for the revocation of the law which declassified part of the Achimota forest as a reserve. Also, all political parties must sign a peace pact banning Galamsey. Again, immediately declaration of state of emergency, and I just told you, revocation of law allowing mining in forest reserves, special court to prosecute mining offences. Also, they talk about revocation of the law which declassified part of the Achimota forest, which I just told you. So these are some of the demands from organised Labour. Now, here's the Lands and Natural Resources Minister, Samuel Adu Manu Afful, on September 18, assuring that the government will shortly come out with a roadmap to deal with the menace.
Some nation wreckers, motivated by their own selfish interests, continue to destroy our water bodies and forest reserves. We are aware that what we are dealing with is money, and the cartels involved will always try to find ways of outwitting us. But we will not relent on our efforts. We will continue to adopt the necessary measures to protect our water bodies, environment, and forest reserves. And anonymous cooperation and support will be invaluable. We welcome the various concerns that have been raised by several groups of people, as well as their recommendations for dealing with this matter. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, has constituted an ad hoc ministerial committee under the chairmanship of the Minister for National Security to engage all stakeholders and to find a common ground to fight this menace. Yesterday, the committee met with organised Labour, and in the coming days, we will engage with other groups of people to ensure that we come to grips with this matter.
And you heard the Lands and Natural Resources Minister, Samuel Adu Manu Afful. Well, Secretary General of the Trade Union Congress, Joshua Ansah, has also justified the decision to give the government up until October 10 to address the concerns of Labour. He maintains that the strike will be called off only if the government heeds their demands.
We are rather preparing ourselves for this action. To declare a nationwide strike is not just wake up one day saying we are declaring a strike. It needs planning.
Okay.
We need to plan and plan very well. Our members have to be informed. Our members must understand why they are going to lay down their tools. Our members must be prepared so that when we say that let's lay down tools, everybody will be on top of that.
Okay.
So it's for our own planning and not that we are giving anybody any time.
I see.
That's how you plan, yes.
But if government decides to act within this period, then of course you call off the strike.
No, what if government decides to act? That is our demand. We want ABCD from the government. If government does it, then there's no need of going on strike. If it doesn't do it, that's why I say that if government fails to adhere to our demands, then on the 10th, it's already declared that we will go on nationwide strike. People are politicizing all the Galamsey issue. I think that organized labor is coming clear, it's coming clean with a good decision. That this is a nationwide, this is a nation issue. It's affecting everybody in this country, and we should stop politicizing this issue. All what Labour is calling the government to do is to ensure that all political parties, be it MPP, NDP, CPP, whatever, to come and sign a pact on their position on this money that is killing this very country.
And you heard the Secretary General of the Trade Union Congress, Joshua Anson, speaking earlier on New Day. Let's speak with a legal practitioner on this. And we have Osman Al-Hassan. He's a private legal practitioner joining us on the line. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Most welcome.
First of all, I want you to help us understand what the law says about how to declare a state of emergency.
Well, it starts with the President publishing in the Gazette a declaration of a state of emergency. And then after the declaration, the President will now have to approach Parliament and place before Parliament the circumstances and facts that are informing the state of emergency. So, to declare a state of emergency, it all depends on a declaration of the President and then an approval of Parliament. So when it is placed before Parliament, then Parliament will now decide or determine whether the declaration should remain in force or should be revoked.
And is this something that would take long to do? Yes, admitted. Parliament is on recess now, expected to resume somewhere this month. Is this something that is doable within this period as being asked for?
Well, Parliament can always be recalled to perform any duty it has to do when it's necessary. But if I may be permitted to say something more. You see, the state of emergency is to be declared for a purpose. And that purpose is to prevent the destruction of our water bodies and the endangering of the human or life in Ghana, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you, the declaration of a state of emergency and all the laws that we have existing currently that prescribe or make what people are doing to the water bodies criminal are not any different. They all require of the force of the state to enforce it. Now, the laws that are criminalizing the acts that is going on and destroying our water bodies can be enforced by the deployment of our security personnel. The same way we need them to enforce the laws that may be passed pursuant to a declaration of state of emergency. So all I'm saying is this problem can actually be dealt with swiftly without the need for any declaration of state of emergency if the President or the executive so wish to deal with it. Because everything will end up in the deployment of security personnel to enforce whatever steps or laws that have been passed pursuant to it.
But we've had people saying that even the people who are deployed to ensure that we deal with this issue are compromised. And in fact, on Monday on Agenda, which was the first episode on TV3, we had a former illegal miner telling us that any time that those officials were coming to the communities, they would call them, including the DCs and the police. So they stopped mining until they were done with the operations, and then they will continue. So how do you enforce this when the people who are supposed to do this are the ones calling people in collusion to ensure it continues?
Okay, so you said it all. Will that be different or if it's a state of emergency? The same personnel who are supposed to enforce, detain and restrict, arrest people who are in breach of laws passed pursuant to the declaration of state of emergency. Will they be different personnel from those who went to enforce the laws we already have? They won't be any different. And that's why I'm saying that everything rests with the executive as we speak. The President is the one who cracks the whip. So if I send you to go and accomplish an assignment and you fail to do it, I have the authority to deal with you. Now, what happened to all those people you claim or allege have been compromised in the enforcement process? What happened to them?
But at least in the meantime, you have over 700,000 workforce of the country asking that this is what we want. Yes, the military, or perhaps this is what.
Yes, I'm not disagreeing with that. I am all in support of it because it's an additional measure, and at least that will place the responsibility squarely and directly in the office of the president. That is okay. But I'm just trying to say that the president might do the same things because we need the political will in the president to be able to enforce whether a law passed pursuant to declaration of state of emergency or a law already in existence criminalizing the act pursuant to which we need a declaration of a state of emergency.
I heard you say that Parliament can always be recalled. We have
yes.
The president has up to 8 days actually from now to ensure that the demands of organized labor are met. What would you advise him to do legally?
Please, can you take that again?
I was asking what you expect the president to do. He has just about 8 days based on the ultimatum, as it were, given by organized labor that on the 10th, members will be on strike.
Yes, I mean, the president has two options, or I should say one or two or three. He can actually work towards the recall of Parliament for a determination of a state of emergency. Or, in the first place, the first act that he will have to demonstrate for people of this country to see that he's actually taking us serious, or for the labor union to see that he's taking them serious, is the declaration, first of all, because you don't need Parliament for the declaration. Now, when you publish the declaration in the Gazette, that is the time you now need to place it, the circumstances and facts before Parliament. Now, if you look at the law, once the declaration is made and published in the Gazette, it is enforced. What Parliament does is to determine whether it should continue to remain in force or it should be revoked.
So the import of the question was asking, the question I was asking was, at this moment, with the limited time the president has, what do you think is feasible amongst the options you've given him?
He can go ahead and declare a state of emergency in the places where the danger is occurring. That's all.
Went it here. Thank you very much. And that was Osman Al-Hassan. He's a private legal practitioner. Thank you for speaking to us. Like I told you, the National Labour Commission is meeting leadership of organised labour over their demands on the government to end galamsey and the impending strike, which is expected from the 10th of this month. Daniel Opoku is our Labour Affairs correspondent. He's been monitoring this for us. He joins us live in the studio. Daniel, just tell us, do we know when this meeting is starting?
Right. Labour Commission has decided to meet the leadership of organised labour, and the meeting is not happening today because they went on a legal break and they resumed this morning. Basically, what they will do today is to take a decision, firm up, and issue invitation letters to leadership of organised labour and as well the government side as well for them to appear before the commission. Hopefully, from now to Wednesday, they should be able to have a very effective meeting to be able to arrive on an amicable solution. Because if they fail to do that, then clearly we really have a problem on our hands. When we listen to the executive secretary of National NLC, Mr. Fosu Asamoah, he believes that the position of organized labor, yes, the issues involved do not fall within the mandate of the NLC, because we are talking about galamsey. It has nothing to do with job security. It also has nothing to do with conditions of service of workers. Salaries have not been affected and all that. But once it's an issue, somewhere an isolated matter, they believe that the position of labor and also invoking the need for them to embark on a strike is a reason they have to sit and engage all the parties and get amicable solution to that.
But are you able to give us what has been the reaction of organised labour to this meeting?
Right, so organised labour is ready to meet the NLC because for them, when we speak, they say we are law-abiding people. After the close of yesterday, the spokesperson of organised labour, Joshua Ansa, also Secretary General of the TUC, indicated that anywhere they are invited to a meeting, they will attend. Because they were able to honor the first meeting with a technical committee where they made their positions clear. Now, with the NLC, they are ready to go to the Labour Commission. So from today's Wednesday, from today up to Friday, the letter should go out. Then hopefully by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they should be able to sit and resolve the problem. Labour is ready to engage. If they're able to engage, then there'll be a head. But beyond that, then clearly there's a problem on our hands.
Then clearly there's a problem on our hands. Thank you very much, Daniel Opoko. He's our Labour Affairs correspondent, and he will be bringing us update as and when he has it. And let's stay a bit longer on this because the Attorney General, Godfrey Adu Manu Afful, has called for a swift completion of investigations into the protesters and the prosecution to enable the discharge of the innocent among them. At the last hearing, the 39 protesters were remanded into custody. The case has been adjourned until the 8th of October 2024. Now, they have been slapped with multiple charges, including conspiracy to commit crime, unlawful assembly, unlawful damage, offensive conduct conducive to the breach of peace. Now, speaking at the annual general meeting of the Association of Magistrates and Judges, Godfrey Dame said that the legitimacy of concerns raised during the protest must not infringe on the right to freedom of movement or the safety of security officers. Lord Adu Asare is covering this for us. He joins us live on the line. Lord, can you update us on what the Attorney General has been saying about the remanded Democracy Hub protesters beyond what I just said?
Beatrice, I can barely hear you. Can you please come again?
I was asking if you could tell us more about what the attorney. Okay, we just lost Lord Adu Asare on the line. We'll try and get back to him, but let me bring you an update on the case concerning the protesters in court. The protesters originally remanded by the Circuit Court to reappear on October 8th. Like I just told you, lawyers headed to the High Court in a fresh push to secure bail. Also filed processes seeking an expedited hearing instead of originally October 8th date. Now, the High Court has also adjourned hearing to another date after the Attorney General raised concerns about non-attachment of Circuit Court proceedings to court document, and we'll bring you more as and when we have that and we're able to get through to Lord Adu Asare. Meanwhile, all is set for the 3-day protest dubbed Free Citizens Demo, which begins on Thursday here in the capital city, Accra. The protesters intend to create awareness about the devastating effect of illegal mining and demand some urgent action from the government. And we'll bring you more on this. You're still here on the Midday News on Sri FM 92.7, some 18 minutes past the hour of 12. When we come back, we'll bring you some more, including some issues with Ghana's timber and relationship with the European Union. Don't go away.
Big money, money, money. Want more money, more moolah, more kudi, more sika, or more l'argent?
Yes.
Then win more moolah with 30 Ghana Cedis free credit when you play Game Park's Pick 1 and Pick 4 games for the first time.
How?
Just dial *946# or visit the nearest Game Park agent to play, get your first bet, and win on us with a 30 Ghana Cedi welcome bonus.
Oh, yes. It's all about the moolah.
Win more moolah with Game Park today. Go to GameParkGames.com for more information. Game Park is licensed by the NLA. Play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under 18 years.
And also here on the Midday News on Sri FM 92.7. Thank you very much for staying. Now, Ghana's access to the European Union's lucrative timber market is on the brink of collapse, with delays in ratifying timber permit, raising serious concerns about the government's commitment to sustainable forest management. Civil society organizations and forestry experts have warned that Ghana could lose its place in the EU's Voluntary Partnership Agreement, VPA, unless urgent steps are taken to finalize the remaining leases. Noble Crosby Annan is there and he joins us live on the line. Noble, can you tell us the reasons given as regards why Ghana has been unable to meet the requirements?
Right, Beatrice, so the failure to meet the requirement for the full implementation of Ghana's legal framework for timber and its trade under this agreement has been attributed to several factors. They include government inaction and bureaucratic delays. So the group explains that successive governments have been slow in processing and ratifying the necessary timber permits and leases. And despite the VPA being in place since 2009 and incorporated into law, the political will to prioritize and expedite the process has been lacking. Now, they also mentioned that the Forestry Commission and the Lands and Natural Resources, which are responsible for enforcing the agreement, and the compliance with the forest management issues may be lacking resources or understaffed or have inadequate technical expertise to manage the backlog of permits. Now, we know that we have about 148 permits, and out of that, only 11 have been ratified. There's also the mention about corruption and illegal logging interests. There are concerns that there may be vested interest in illegal logging, and it might be influencing the delays. And the illegal timber traders, lucrative industry, we know that, an attempt to fully implement the legal framework might face resistance from those who may be benefiting from this lack of regulation, if you like, Beatrice.
How crucial is this agreement, as it were?
So what the agreement does is that it allows Ghana to be able to trade with the European Union, and it means the European Union countries, and that comes with some levels of foreign exchange. Now, because of the strict regulations that govern these, it means that if these are not ratified, it means the European Union market will not be open to Ghana. They may be seeking timber elsewhere. It means Ghana will be lacking the market, will not be benefiting from the direct investment that may come from the market. There may be advantages because we may be trading or using the timber product here in Ghana, but we limit ourselves to only in-house Ghana and other countries outside the European Union market, and it means we may be lacking foreign exchange. Also, the degradation of the forest is something that is also of concern, because these agreements, if ratified, will go a long way to ensure that the forests are maintained, sustained, and all of that, playing into the conversation about illegal mining and the destruction of forest reserves, Beatrice.
Thank you very much, Noble Crosby on there. And let's return to a story about the 3-day demonstration that is happening from tomorrow. Free the Citizens Demo. We're joined by Beatrice Adu, who is leader and also convener for the protest. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All set for the protest tomorrow?
Yes, everything is set. As we communicated earlier, our engagement with the police has sorted everything out. So the routes ready, activities and everything ready, plans to manage crowd and other things ready. And to be able to work within the remit of the law, yes, we are set.
You're set. I know that earlier the police agreed on the routes with you. Do they remain the same? Would you kindly remind us of the routes?
Okay, so we are converging at Opongolo, that is the bus stop. Then we move all the way through the main road, to Shangri-La. Then we turn right, take the Association International route or stretch straight to Gold House. Then from there, we join the Hila Liman Road to the SU Tower. Then we continue to Osu Cemetery, then to Independence Square.
Thank you very much. And that was Beatrice Adu. He's leader and also convener of the 3-day protest expected to happen from tomorrow, dubbed Free the Citizens Demo. You're still here on the Midday News on Shri FM 92.7. Now, Main Opposition National Democratic Congress is demanding re-examination of the Electoral Commission's IT system with the aim of addressing the vulnerabilities within the system. The EC joined an IPAC meeting with stakeholders on Tuesday. That's yesterday, admitted to some vulnerabilities within the systems of the Electoral Commission, which led to some anomalies with the voters' register. Now, though the electoral management body maintains that it has rectified all such problems, the opposition party insists there should be a multi-stakeholder and inter-party examination of of EC's IT system with the aim of addressing the vulnerabilities the EC itself has admitted to. Meanwhile, the party has welcomed the decision by the Commission to re-exhibit the updated provisional voters register. In a statement, the party's General Secretary Fifi Kwete recommended that the re-exhibition exercise be conducted online and offline at the exhibition centres. Just a quick glance through the vulnerabilities the NDC is talking about: illegal transfer of voters due to the lack of a liveliness test technology as occurred in Pusiga and other constituencies. Also, erroneous addition of previous transfers to the current 2024 transfer list. Presence of corrupted files in the 2024 provisional voters register, which the Commission claims have been rectified and restored. Also, deleted voters who the Commission wishes to place on a missing voters register, and a vulnerable ECIT system that is susceptible to data manipulation and infiltration from officials and non-officials of the Electoral Commission who have access to login credentials. Sahel, the Midday News on Shure FM 92.7. Now, it is the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men in Ghana, with 1 out of every 3 men 40 years and above being at risk. Yet, limited access to screening services and high cost of treatment continue to affect prostate cancer care in Ghana, resulting in 60% of cases being presented at advanced stages. At a major national prostate cancer dialogue to solicit views to bridge the gaps in prostate cancer care, stakeholders reiterated the need for treatment to be captured on the NHRS to reduce the cost burden on patients. Here's Deputy Health Minister Adelaide Ntim speaking earlier.
Ghana lacks comprehensive prostate cancer data, which hinders our ability to design cost-effective innovations. For effective civilian monitoring and evaluation of cancer trends in Ghana, we must invest in systems that allow for the timely collection, analysis, and dissemination of prostate cancer data. This will ensure that interventions are data-driven and responsive to the needs of our populations. We must ensure that healthcare facilities across the country are equipped with the tools necessary to detect and treat prostate cancer early.
You heard that Deputy Health Minister Adelaide Ntim. And that's it for the news on Shure FM 92.7. My name is Beatrice Adu. Thank you very much for joining us today. Log on to shrenews.com for more news. Have a good afternoon.
Gets busy on this frequency. 92.7 3 FM.
Imagine a place where voices matter, where every corner, every street, every community is a platform.
A big bus moving through Accra, carrying conversations, questions, and the pulse of the nation. This is not just another show, it's your voice on the move.
Join us as 3FM Sunrise hits the road, turning ordinary streets into platforms for extraordinary dialogue. Speak freely, listen deeply, and help shape the conversation that drives Ghana forward.
Look out for the bus and tune in exclusively on 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio.
FM 92.7, your election command center. Radio Development Show Host of the Year 2016-2017.
And the winner is John Hughes. Check.
Hi, my name is Johnny Hughes, your community rights advocate, and I'm still on the quest to bring smiles into your communities with Community Connect on 3FM 92.7. Join me this and every Friday morning at 9 a.m. right here on 3FM, and together we will solve the problems bothering your communities.
I know your program is a program that always get a result. Myself, I'm a witness to that.
What can we do to help your community today in terms of education, health, sanitation, security, and all the issues in between from your community's perspective? Tune in to Community Connect every Friday morning at 9 a.m. as we get interactive live on radio and on Twitter at 3FM927 and on Facebook at 3FM 92.7. Community Connect, helping solve your community problems.
Accra gets busy on this frequency. 92.7 3FM.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Business Daily on 3FM 92.7. My name is Manu Afful. Coming up, Ghana's inflation climbs to 21.5% in September, ending 5-month decline attributable to surging food prices. We'll hear from government statistician Professor Samuel Kobna Enim.
In the month of September 2024, year-on-year rate of inflation stood at 21.5%, indicating that between September 2023 and September 2024, the average price levels of goods and services went up by 21.5%.
Also, CD remains stable in retail markets but faces pressure in interbank trading amid rising forex demand. We'll bring you details of that as well. Plus, economist Professor John Gachi calls for robust tax exemptions monitoring mechanisms to control suspected manipulation and corruption.
The law was passed in 2022. It has in it a requirement of monitoring, but the regulation has not captured how the monitoring process should be done.
We have details of these stories and others lined up for you. Please stay. And now the details. Ghana's inflation has increased to 21.5% for the month of September, up from 20.4% in August. According to government statistician Professor Samuel Kobna Enim, the increase is largely due to a significant rise in food inflation from 19.1% to 22.1%. The latest increase marks the end of 5 consecutive months of decline year-on-year inflation, highlighting renewed pressures on the cost of living.
In the month of September 2024, year-on-year rate of inflation stood at 21.5%, indicating that between September 2023 and September 2024, the average price levels of goods and services went up by 21.5%. On a year-on-year basis, for September 2024, prices of goods and services went up by 21.5%. This indicates a 1.1 percentage point variation between the year-on-year inflation that was recorded in August 2024, which stood at 20.4%, relative to the 21.5% that has been recorded for September 2024. Disaggregating this from a food and non-food perspective, food inflation recorded a higher rate of 22.1%, while non-food inflation recorded 20.9% for the month of September 2024. While we are seeing an increasing rate for food inflation by 3.0 percentage points between August 2024 and September 2024. We see a marginal decline for non-food inflation as it declined by 0.6 percentage points from 21.5% in August 2024 to 20.9% in September 2024.
You heard the voice of government statistician Professor Samuel Kobna Enim on Ghana's inflation climbing to 21.5% in September, ending the 5-month decline attributable to surging food prices. Now, the local currency remained stable in the retail market last week, but it came under pressure in the interbank market. This pressure was due to renewed demand for foreign exchange from traders and manufacturing sector, anticipating the upcoming festive season. Retail rates against the euro and the pound remain unchanged, closing at 18 cedis 3 pesos to the euro and 21 cedis 35 pesos to the pound. Analysts say the stability of the cedi in the retail market suggests improved forex inflows and a drop in speculative demand as a market awaited the Monetary Policy Committee's briefing on Friday, September 27. In more stories, Dean of the University of Cape Coast Business School, Professor John Gachi, is advocating for a robust monitoring mechanism to oversee tax exemptions in the country. He notes that while a monitoring law exists, it lacks clarity on the monitoring process, leaving room for manipulation and corruption. Professor Gachi suggests that tax exemptions should be strategically granted to specific sectors that guarantee positive returns to optimize its benefits while minimizing potential abuses.
The law was passed in 2022. It has in it a requirement of monitoring, but the regulation has not captured how the monitoring process should be done, and that has not been developed yet. And for that matter, any tax exemption we are granting free of charge. People would collect the tax exemption, spend it without being accountable to anybody. The state should be sure that it's going to get the return in terms of job creation, it's going to get the return in terms of technology transfer, it's going to get the return in terms of sustainability of the businesses. Some people come for tax exemption within a year, they fold up and the rest. So we cannot countenance that. We need to put stringent measures in place to close the tap and ensure that areas that tax exemptions are needed are the only area that tax exemption goes.
Dean of University of Cape Coast Business School, Professor John Gachi, there advocating for robust tax exemptions monitoring mechanisms. Now, President of the Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana, Dr. Daniel Kaseti, has cautioned the general public on protecting banking information to prevent fraud. Addressing the media at the launch of the 2023 Ghana Customer Satisfaction Index report in Accra, he praised commercial banks and the central bank for raising awareness, which has led to a significant decrease in fraud cases. However, Dr. Kaseti emphasized that customers also play a vital role in protecting themselves.
The plastic cards we hold, the average banking customer calls it ATM card. It's not an ATM card. It's either a debit card or a credit card. The numbers at the back of it and then in front of it are all a fraudster needs to take from you. They don't need a card. So that card you hold, don't expose it. If you put it down and I take a snapshot of the front and take a snapshot of the back, I can go to my room and shop online using your card. So that card, you don't need to give your PIN to anybody. Just the numbers in front and at the back are sufficient for somebody to spend it from your account. Okay? Let's help educate the nation. It is not an ATM card. It's a debit or a credit card or a prepaid card. The card details are for you alone. Keep it safe. Don't give your personal information to anybody.
President of the Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana, Dr. Daniel Kaseti there. Now, Chief Executive of Telecel Ghana, Beatrice Adu Manu Afful, has underscored the need for collaboration as a key tool to driving digital innovation in the country. According to her, fintechs must begin to leverage each other's unique skill sets to begin addressing critical technology needs of businesses. She was speaking at the Ghana Digital and Indication Week currently underway in Accra. All details of that will be available in our subsequent bulletins. There are calls for homegrown solutions to address Ghana's high unemployment challenge. At the sidelines of an entrepreneurship fair organized by his outfit, coordinator of the Ghana Report Jobs and Entrepreneurship Fair, Adu Sani, emphasized the importance of placing relevance on TVET, equipping young people with skills which will nurture their talents for future, and while also reducing unemployment in Ghana.
Innovation is the way to go. The world is rapidly changing. And so if you don't have your educational system suited to conform with the rapidly changing nature of the world, you might lag behind. That is why we think that focus should be placed on the TVETs, on the STEMs. So at least these young people would be equipped with the technical know-how to be able to find something to do for themselves. So they don't have to complete school and be hopping from one office to another looking for jobs.
Adu Sani is coordinator of the Ghana Report Jobs and Entrepreneurship Fair. That will be all for Business Daily here on 3FM 92.7. For more stories, kindly check out our website. It's www.3news.com. My name is Manu Afful. Stay tuned. Urban Blend is up next.